Okay, let's go to the next second one. Okay, validation and invalidation research. Well, you've been keep updating and adding good functions and features to your wireframe designs, right? Um, okay, we are doing the paper prototype for your designs this week and next week. After we finish that, we are doing this a second user research step. It is about showing your paper prototypes to me, interviewing me as a user of your website. I will be the user. Okay, okay. For this stage, your paper prototype. After this lesson, the homework will be doing a paper prototype. And after you've done that, we are conducting the user research. This research with me. Okay, so how it works? Um, you will be explaining your paper prototype of your website, how it works, how you updated some functions and paper pages after the interviewing your friends and family. Okay, sorry about the background noise. Just consider we are having this class next to a kindergarten. Okay, so um, as the word itself, invalidation is saying, in this stage you kick out the unnecessary parts and welcome the necessary functions to your designs with the help of your users. For this class, that user will be me. Okay. Validation phase should be about challenging the design team, finding issues and weaknesses, and receiving needed input for the additional improvement. After this stage, you should finally have an answer to these questions. Did your design solve the original issue? Which aspect of your design work? Which aspect of your design did not work? Is the information architecture right? Is the functionality understandable and working? Does it have pleasant look and feel? A few slides back, we had a small talk on about contextual interviewing. Do you remember? What was it again? Let's see. This one, this slide. The contextual interviewing was about getting feedbacks and comments on your design sketches or prototypes, I said, right? Okay, let's go back. This invalidation validation research is basically that contextual interviewing. We interview people as well as yourselves in this stage. But before you guys do this contextual interviewing with me, as I said, you guys will do validation and invalidation research on your own design first. How to do that? Well, you have to look at your design from the third person perspective. This one, heuristics evaluation check we covered last time. This is what you have to do on your own website paper prototype after you've done that. So you ask yourself, is your design let the users know what is going on? Does your interface icons and buttons represent the right intended meaning? Does your interface has or provides undo, redo, go back, or easy go forward functions? Does your design has consistency and standards that people won't make mistakes easily? Does your design provides help and less experienced users like your grandparents that they won't make are able to make mistakes easily? Are you letting the busy users not to wonder what your buttons do? Or you should ask, not or, and you should ask, um, are you letting the users see your design on any device? Is it flexible enough? Okay, and are you letting the users not to spend on unimportant stuffs on your design? 9. Does your design help the users find and fix the errors by themselves easily? Finally, you should ask to yourselves, on your paper prototype. Finally, does this design provide manuals how to do tips? Okay, you can see the details and explanations on the third week, second class, part one the video. You can just Google, or maybe you can just Google them by yourselves about this design heuristics on the that cool internet as we always do. Okay, I still recording. Okay. Now, so after we evaluate and fix the design by ourselves as a designer, now it's time to show it to show it to the users for real. For our case, you will do some usability testing with me. Okay, that's what I was saying a few slides back. There are more than these three. More than these three, I think, but let's see these three types of usability testing. Those are mostly used in web app or any screen interface designs. These are 5-second test, first click test, and a preference test. Those are pretty simple actually. You could do them very easily. 5-second test is to help you measure what information users take away and what impression they get within the first 5 seconds of viewing a design. They're commonly used to test whether web pages are effectively communicating their intended message. And you can ask the user, me, these questions for the second user research. Okay. I mean, the questions would be, you could ask me, what is, after you showing your paper prototype to me, for 5 seconds, you ask these questions from me again, okay? What's the purpose of the design and purpose of the page? What are the main elements you can recall? What do you think the intended audience is? Did the design or brand appear trustworthy? What was your impression of the design? Okay, so I will answer these questions after seeing your paper prototype in about 5 seconds. That's it. After 5 seconds, after you ask me these questions, you have to note down my answers. The thing you should be thinking is, when doing this test, are the answers the same as your expected answer, intended answers? Okay. Okay, now the second one, first click test. This test is to find out how easy it is to complete a given task. The aim of this first click testing is to verify that the first click a user makes on an interface to carry out a given task is clear and easy. Okay, the user, me, is given a task on your design to do something. Okay? And the user is given a task. For example, you should ask, your task given to me would be, for example, where would you click to buy this product? If your website is a internet shopping. And then shown an image of the interface, I mean your paper prototype, and on which they click to complete the task. So it means I should click on your paper prototype. Okay. Let's see how it's done for more detail. The position. Oh, okay. The position of the click is recorded. Meaning you've noted down on a paper or anything, along with how long they took to click, how long I took to click to find out the button I want to click. Okay. Further feedback can also be gathered at the end of the test by asking the user to explain why they clicked where they did. First click tests can be run using screenshots, sketches, wireframes, prototypes for a case, and mockups, giving you the freedom to test from very early on in the design process, all the way through the final design and live interfaces. Well, these tests can be done at any step of the product development. Cool, right? Okay. Now, the third usability test you will be doing with me after you made your paper prototype and design heuristics on it is the preference test. It is to help you to choose between design variations by simply asking users which one they prefer. Simple, very simple test, but you have more to work on because the user is shown a number of design options and is asked to pick a favorite. So for your case, at least two to choose A and B design, okay? Which design does a user prefer? Which design looks the most trustworthy? Which design looks the most modern? Which design looks the easiest to use? You can ask me these questions for this invalidation research step. Okay, the third one, last one of the user research step, post-launch research. Well, this is done when you finish your design with real design tools, Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, and some coding for the interactiveness and put them on a server to let the public to see. It is done in the final week of the semester for our case. This step is an essential part of product development process, cycle, which helps you to evaluate how successful you were and collect insights for further adjustments. It should help you to find answers on following questions. You should ask yourself, does it meet the user's expectations? What works and what doesn't? Is the product pleasant to see? What features do your users miss? What are the stumbling blocks? Okay. So for this final stage, there are so how do we do this post-launch research? For first one, customer review analysis. To a fancy name. It's just about reading comments and feedbacks on your design from the people viewed or tried using your website or any other product. If you have done, for example, an application, you can see the comments on the App Store or Play Store. This isn't for our case, not to worry. If you have done a video of your interactive interface for the final week, you can upload it on YouTube and see the comments. Maybe you've done some artwork or portfolio website design, animated or static. You can upload it to Behance, Dribble, Instagram, or even Facebook so that you can see the comments and feedbacks from your friends and family and me for this customer review analysis. The important thing in this research is to learn from the negative reviews. These often complain about issues with elementary features that don't meet the basic expectations, or other ask for new features. Okay, very, very simple example would be if someone wrote on a comment after they view your design, it takes too long to load the page. And then, if you fix the image size or look for other solutions, you can change this comment. The problem. Okay. Or if someone wrote, "This button is so confusing. I thought it should do this rather than this function," something like that. So you fix that design of the button or the function the button does. So that's how you work on the comments and feedbacks for the post-launch research. Okay, second is exit surveys. Another fancy name, you can see exit surveys. This is Well, people said there is no better source of learning about your product's issues than the minds of customers who stopped using it. So you can easily search, I mean, you can easily reach the users via email or simple a pop-up window after they stopped using your app or web for several days, or when they cancel their subscriptions. Um, but you have to keep your questionnaire short and humble. Maybe they stopped using your service after a serious bug and now they're mad at you. Also, keep the questions open ended so your customers can pinch what's bothering them. Your assumptions might be wrong. See this example here. It says, what was the biggest fear or concern about purchasing from us? There are only three choices for the Higgs law sake. Remember? Price. If the product will work as described, or other. Three choices. Send them and click send them. Okay, I think it's on a web interface because the send button should be longer for the Fitch law's sake, right? Okay. Okay, Bill Gates said your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Okay, so be prepared. Okay, now end of the research thing. Okay. Um, let me. Okay, end of the research thing. Phew. Okay, good job, guys. You've learned a lot. Now, for the prototype. Okay. Our class name was Web Programming 1, but I'm teaching you more than you paid for. Okay, the important thing is even though we are doing a website for this class project, what you have learned so far up until here, or even until the end of the semester, you can use the theories and principles, all of them, to design and develop all kinds of computer interfaces. So to say it again, one page or many page, flexible websites, mobile or bigger devices like tablet applications, any types of computer games, MMO, LAN games, strategy game, action, combat, etc., or even 2D, 3D, 45D virtual reality games. Online, online or offline interactive books and toys, animations and motion graphics, video clips, you name it. The laws, principles, and methods, theories we have covered up until now applies to all of them. I told you to choose a topic that you want to do or you need to do for your future career or maybe to use it as your diploma project, right? I did, right? Okay. If not, I am saying it right now. Oh. Okay, well, if you have a change of mind at this point, meaning if you want to change your topic now, you will have to do the flowchart and wireframe and user research steps again. If that's not a problem, you can change now. I just want you to do something you will be proud of yourself. Something you won't be embarrassed to show it to your friends. At this point, we have to start doing your paper prototype for the design. Okay, to do what? To do the heuristics check on your own and the contextual interviewing with me. Are you thinking, oh my eyes, too much text? Sorry about that. We have to know exactly what this thing is. Let's see the general meaning of a prototype. First, or preliminary version of your device or vehicle from which other forms are developed. That's the general. The basically prototype shows how the design works. It shows its functions. It's like simulation of a real product. It can be animated or it it can be made with a traditional pen or pen and paper, or with some prototyping purpose applications. So for our case, it should be a paper prototype. I don't think, 맨덕세나, 짜증나. You're using traditional paper, pencil, and rulers are effective when it comes to designing a new product. You will know. Okay, well, let's see the second and third description of a prototype. Prototype is an early sample, model, or release of a product created to test a concept or process. Typically, a prototype is to evaluate a new design to improve the accuracy of analysts and system users from the design perspective. Okay, interactive mock-up of your web design. While it may not have all the bells and whistles of a final website build, it can give you a really good idea of the functionality, user journey, and flow through a website. A website prototype is essentially a high-fidelity visual version of the site that allows you to link between screens and demonstrate how the website would work before going to build it with the coding. Okay, well, this research and internet says there are so many types of methods of prototyping, but for this class, I think you can just say there are basically two types of prototypes, and that is low fidelity and high fidelity. The best method of making low fidelity prototype for a product to test is the paper prototype, as I said. Paper prototype is not a wireframe. We've been drawing for the assignments. Yes, it looks like a wireframe, but a paper prototype has much more details, and it should include all the pages and buttons. The prototype shows how the design flows, the functions, and movements, every buttons and every strokes. Your paper prototype should include all the pages of your design, including pop-up pages, all the animations. It should almost have the accurate and actual size of the product, because we are doing it to do the second research step of validation in validation test with yourselves and me. We've just talked a few slides ago. Okay. For our final project, we will try to finish programming the whole website, but we are short in time, so close to real goal for this class is developing the high fidelity prototype for our website. High fidelity prototype can be interactive using some coding like JavaScript, clickable, or it can be shown in a video that how the interaction works. Of course, the UI and UX part is coded with HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript. Okay, let's see some good examples I'm expecting you to do. Okay, let's exit. No, not exit. Okay, are you seeing this? Yes, you do. Okay. I will link these websites on the classroom folder. These are the example of a high fidelity prototype for a certain website. This is just a short animation, but it shows all the UX and UI, how the website works, how it does. Okay. Okay, something like this. Like these. Okay. Okay, that is for today. See you next week.